Hey Tech Packers, this is me here in the gardens, the botanical gardens here in Wellington, and this is about the best travel camera in 2024. Hey, what's good people? Saab here from the Tech Packer, and I'm going to pit the new Ace Pro from Insta360 against the GoPro 12 in this camera comparison. Check out the new Ace Pro. It's got some new cool features we've never seen in an action camera before, and it's a bit pricier than the GoPro 12. Watch this video to find out which one could work better for you. A quick heads up, this video is not sponsored. Huge shout out to Insta360 for sending me a unit to review, but they don't have any control over my content. This is my real review. The Ace Pro has a bigger sensor than the GoPro, so it gathers more light and has improved dynamic range. It can even shoot up to 8K video, but that isn't the major feature of this camera. We'll get to that. Now this is the 4K 30 on the Ace Pro and this is 5K 30 on the GoPro. Can you tell right away if there's any difference in resolution, clarity and sharpness? Check out the background behind me. It has so many tiny details. And how's the exposure looking? So we've got bright sunlight behind me and dark shadows that the camera is trying to deal with too. And what's the story with making things clear and taking care of those tiny little details? I'm not sure if you can see it, but I'm hoping you can. But which one looks better right away to you? I'm really into that flip up screen on the Insta360 Ace Pro. It's big, it's bright, and the GoPro front screen works fine, but it looks only about half the size. When you're framing yourself up, I'll always take that bigger screen, and then it can flip the image too, so that's pretty cool. So if you need to flip the camera around, you just flip it down and that's it. That little flip screen is surprisingly helpful when you may be like on a bike or something. You wouldn't be able to see the GoPro screen well, but you can tilt the Ace Pro screen up and see it from where you're positioned. Really cool. Here's a little quick audio comparison too. Okay, here's a little quick audio test here, hopefully a little bit sheltered from the wind, and you'll be able to pick up slight differences maybe between the Ace Pro and the GoPro Hero 12 Black. What does it sound like for either of them? Can you tell the difference? Is there a difference? They're both held about 30 centimeters away from my mouth right now. Now on first impressions, you can see that they both look great. You can see everything with great clarity and a wide field of view. Now I have to remind myself that GoPro has been in the game for over a decade, and I've owned several in the past, but the last one I bought was the Hero 7, before this 12 that is. Well, this is Insta360's first attempt at a standard action camera body after doing a modular camera build for a few years with the 1R and 1RS. And I have to say, I think they're doing pretty well so far. For stabilization on the Ace Pro, I just set it on standard and I'd say it looks as smooth as the GoPro. I can't really see that much of a difference. Can you? Now both cameras can record up to 4K 120 frames per second, which is impressive but also pretty much what you'd expect from a camera in this class these days. Clarity wise, they look similar. Let me know what you think. PureVideo is a major new feature on the Ace Pro. It's this fascinating mixture of that larger sensor than the GoPro, a 5nm processor with an AI core for denoising. It uses AI neural networks to remove noise from each frame as you film, and it's amazing in low light conditions. Check out these awesome comparison shots in low light. There are a few major differences I noticed. First, that improved brightness and dynamic range is pretty impressive on the Ace Pro. Alright, and this is now me walking back home, and you can see the sort of difference you can get with PureVideo here on the Ace Pro and regular 5.3K video, both at 30 frames per second on the GoPro 12. The Ace Pro not only sees the background but the surroundings too, and that's a major difference. Then as we look at this low light shot just as the sun has gone down, check out the differences. Can you see much differentiation between the Ace Pro and the GoPro 12 footage? Now obviously it's not perfect and I totally blind myself with the spotlight here, and the Ace Pro maybe has a tendency to make my skin look too hot and bright here, but the GoPro actually looks decent. But if I ever need an action camera to film at night, the Ace Pro could be top of my list. I actually can't wait to take this Ace Pro from Insta360 to Tokyo with me next month. Now this is HDR video 5K on the GoPro and in daylight, and this is the PureVideo on the Ace Pro. What's your take on how the two compare? Okay, now this is shooting in daytime. This is PureVideo on the Ace Pro, and this is 4K HDR on the GoPro Hero 12 Black. So let's see what this looks like. If we can see PureVideo, it's kind of meant for more low light situations, but I just wanted to give you an idea as to what that looked like, and then also compare it against the GoPro Hero 12 here. And you can see as I come around here into slightly shadier areas, and let's see what it's like with the light backlighting me completely. And then let's see what happens if I move into this darker area here, how the camera copes with PureVideo and 4K HDR on the Hero 12 Black. You can see the speed of change, you can see the clarity. Can you see a difference between the two as I move back out into the bright area again with the real sun shining down? It looks like PureVideo is going to be saved for those low light situations at best, and GoPro HDR looks okay here. The details in the bright skies are still good, but the Ace Pro sometimes has a brighter, more vibrant image that looks pretty cool too. Okay, let's talk about some of the features on the Ace Pro that really set it apart from the GoPro Hero 12. This is so cool on the Ace Pro. Check it out. Let's give recording a clip a shot. If you want to pause it and resume in a little bit, you can pause it, and you can go ahead and resume that clip when you want. You can pause it again and then connect them all together. You can change your field of view after you've paused it too. How cool is that? So like mid-recording, let's say I wanted to switch over to D-Warp. There we go. And then, you know what? Maybe I actually don't like this whole thing altogether. So when I hold the button, it cancels it all out. There's AI highlights, sort of like AI auto-flagging key moments in your clips. The UI is slick for previewing or adding in your own. I can tap and hold to save my best moments, and then cut or separate those clips into those separate clips or merge as a new file. This would be super helpful for saving card space when maybe you're out and about and getting a head start on your editing workflow. And naturally, all those edits are synced to the Insta360 app and can even make an highlights video automatically from them. There's also app background downloading, which is really useful. Finally, we can download the footage from the camera and do more important stuff on your phone. You have to keep that app in the forefront still on the GoPro 12. You can use hand gestures like the peace sign to take a photo or the hand palm to start and stop recording. Oh, and there's voice control too. This feature on the Insta360 is pretty cool too. If you press this button or double tap while filming or whatever, it zooms in, but it's not like it's cropping digitally. It's actually going to look sharper than the 5K because of the full 8K sensor. Let's double tap to zoom in, and that's how it's done. And that double tap zoom is pretty cool, and it's nice that it's kind of like a lossless zoom. If I digitally crop the GoPro, you can see the difference here for comparison. Now I'm a sucker for a great hyperlapse, and both of these look fantastic. And let's make sure to check out a few photos. GoPro shots are 24 megapixels and the Ace Pro can capture shots with a whopping 48 megapixels. It's not like a telephoto lens, but having that extra resolution is definitely a plus to crop in. Now here's an interesting thing. Insta360 has this cool AI warp feature that's really kind of fun to play around with. It's all in the app. You just pick a clip, choose a style, or make your own, wait a few minutes, and boom, you've got these amazing looking results. It's not like super duper high res, but it's kind of fun if that's what you're into. Think of it like ChatGPT for your video clips. Now, while the Ace Pro has all these many advantages, there are a couple of downsides that I noticed. First, that price tag of $450 stings a little, especially when the GoPro 12 is $50 cheaper at $400. You can also get the Action 4 from DJI for $400 too. The second con is that you can't take off that protective lens cover, which is pretty disappointing. Back on the Hero 8, GoPro made the same mistake and people were pretty upset. It's an action camera, it's probably going to get bashed up, probably scratched or dinged or cracked, and it makes sense to make this thing replaceable by the user. And it's kind of disappointing that it's not on the Ace Pro, even though they will replace it for free in the first year, so long as you cover shipping. Not ideal, and that's an additional shipping cost, but don't forget the time without your camera when it's away from you as well. And the third con is that even though I really like the magnetic mounting system, there's unfortunately no built-in tripod mount like the GoPro now has. On the flip side though, Insta360 makes some great mounts and accessories, so drop me a comment if you want to see a video about all those things. One more thing. There have been a few videos about how the focus on the Ace Pro is off at close range, but I didn't really find that, so long as you're not closer than about, I don't know, 40-50 centimeters away from the camera, which pretty much fits my use case. If you're getting closer than that, then I wonder if an action camera is all that good a fit for you, and maybe you should choose a different brand or entirely different genre of camera. And there's so much more I didn't get to show you, like auto dash cam mode or the awesome GPS preview remote, which is kind of like an Apple Watch but for your action camera. You know, nowadays it's not so much about the specs of the camera like GoPro, DJI and Insta360, because they all shoot awesome footage. It's more about which one you're going to have most fun and you find most enjoyable to use. Which one suits your style of not only shooting, but getting that footage off the camera and no hassle editing too. For me, the Ace Pro wins with its ability to make just about everything that little bit more fun and easy to use, with a little time invested in learning how to use it. You guys vote down in the comments which one you think is best, and I'll see you over in the next video for an Insta360 vlogger alternative to the Ace Pro and the GoPro Hero 12, the Go 3.